Cold calling works. Your cold calling, however, may not work. So I found this article on LinkedIn yesterday. I made a comment on it, and it's from some friends of mine. And the article basically says that cold calling doesn't work. And I clicked on a link that I found really interesting. The link says, it takes over 10,000 calls to get a handful of appointments. That's what it says. So I clicked that link and I followed it through so I could see what the research says. And basically the Pew group did some research. It was specifically B2C market real estate agents. They made 6,264 cold calls and found that only 28% were answered. Still pretty good. Almost 30% of the calls you dialed were answered. I would love that. They booked 19 appointments with prospective clients and 11 referrals. Not very good. In other words, for every 209 calls made, one appointment or referral was made. So this is a B2C market. So first let's deal with the research part of this. Get that out of the way so we can talk about what's really going on here. Okay, so first off, in a B2C market, you're not going to have a big uptake on appointments when you're just smiling and dialing. And listen, I want to be really clear about this. No one suggests that cold calling means you pick up a phone book and you just blindly dial every number in the phone book. I did that. I was extraordinarily successful doing it because I'm immune to the regret and the rejection and all the emotions that people feel when they cold call. I never had that reaction to cold calling. It never bothered me. It still doesn't. But let's deal with it. If it's B2C, you're calling people at home and you've got a bad list. No one suggests that you should ever dial a bad list. I don't say that. Mike Weinberg doesn't say it, Jeb Blunt doesn't say it, Mark Hunter doesn't say it, Tony Hughes doesn't say it, Joe Conrath doesn't say it. No one would ever tell you cold call a list just randomly. No one says that. So first you have to get rid of that. So B2C is not a good look at what B2B results should be. But even taking that, if you can't get 2 appointments out of 10 connections, and if you can't get 10 connections out of 40 or so dials, you're just not good at cold calling. And you have to be better at cold calling, and you need a good list. That's all there is to it. There's no reason that you should dial 10,000 numbers to book a handful of appointments, because that means what you're doing is not working. A number of years ago, I took a Japanese martial art called Aikido. And I took Aikido with a guy named Akeda Sensei, and he's one of the great masters of Aikido. And at a workshop, he grabbed my arm and literally I was thrown across the mat, and it felt like I literally got hit by a truck. And it was as much force as I've ever felt from a human being that wasn't moving. And Ikeda Sensei said this. He said, "You say Aikido doesn't work? My Aikido works. Your Aikido may not work." And in this case, your Aikido may not work. So if you want to believe the big lie that you never have to cold call, that you can't be effective at it, that there's no way to get people on the phone, and that you can't book appointments, you're never going to do well in cold calling, and you're never going to build a prospecting pipeline as fast as you could if you would pick up the phone. So cold calling works, even if your cold calling doesn't work. I'm Anthony Iannarino. Hit the subscribe button here. Go out to thesalesblog.com/newsletter. I'll throw the banner up, and join me every Sunday for the newsletter. It'll be the best thing you read Sunday morning, and it will set you up for success on Monday. Until tomorrow, I will see you soon, because this is every day.